Today's episode is sponsored by First Leaf. When you're on the hunt for a new wine, you have two options. You can wander around your local grocery store or wine mart, picking bottles at random, or you can get personalized wines you'll love delivered right to your door, and for a fraction of the cost. If you love the excitement of discovering new wines but hate the risk of disappointment, First Leaf Wine Club is a no-brainer. First Leaf is a wine delivery service. I didn't even know such thing existed until recent weeks, and I have been loving. Thank you, First Leaf. So the thing that I love the most about First Leaf is they are a wine club that curates and ships wines personalized to your tastes, the notes, the flavor profiles you enjoy, from wines across 5 different continents and 12 countries. So there's a lot to choose from. And over time, they get a better taste for what you like, what you don't like. You get your delivery, you answer a few questions to help them better understand your taste buds. And let me tell you, I love a buttery Chardonnay. The first delivery they sent me was already impeccable. The second one, even better. I'm waiting for my third one, so I'll let y'all know in the future how that goes. But very cute and gorgeous. It's definitely one of those things that over time, the deliveries are just going to get better and better and better. But that first delivery, like I said, I was already very impressed. I was sold. But a little fun secret, not so secret, about First Leaf is they work directly with winemakers, which makes them incredibly cheaper than anywhere else. You're not dealing with middlemen. You're going straight to, or they're going straight to the source. And so you're gonna get the best deal, like up to 60% off retail. Like, what? Or are you kidding me? So yeah, I've been live, laugh, loving First Leaf, and I think you girls will too. If you love finding and tasting new wine, First Leaf is a no-brainer. Join today and you will get 6 bottles of wine for $29.95 and free shipping. Just go to tryfirstleaf.com/unfazed. Again, that's 6 bottles of wine for $29.95 and free shipping at tryfirstleaf.com/unfazed.
Okay, so one day me and my mom were having this conversation and she was telling me this story and I was like, you did what now? My mom used to be a wild girl, y'all, but she did it responsibly, unlike me. But anyways, I just remember thinking like, what more do I not know about you? Because growing up, I think as a kid, I always thought parents were these perfect people and that they couldn't possibly do anything wild or crazy and could pretty much do no wrong. But as a kid, you see the world differently. And now I'm looking back and I think it's hilarious that I thought like that. But anyways, I ended up getting my mom Storyworth. And if you don't know what Storyworth is, it's an online service that basically will help you and a loved one connect through sharing stories and memories. And then it also preserves them for years to come, which I think is so cool. And I'm super into sentimental things. And this was everything to me. And so is my mom. She's a sentimental person just like me. So every week Storyworth will email, your mom or a loved one a thought-provoking question of your choice from a vast pool of possible options. Each unique prompt asks questions you've never thought of, like what's some of the best advice your mom gave you? Or if you were to do it all over again, what would you do differently? I've honestly really enjoyed reading my mom's answers to the questions that I've asked her. And I've also discovered stories and memories I never heard about and learned new things about stories I thought I already knew. So after 1 year, Storyworth compiles all those questions and stories, including photos, into a beautiful keepsake book the whole family can share for generations, which that was my favorite thing about this all together. So give all the moms in your life a meaningful gift you'll both cherish for years. Storyworth. Right now, for a limited time, you'll save $10 on your first purchase when you go to storyworth.com/unfazed. That's STORYWORTH.com/unfazed to save $10 on your first purchase. Storyworth.com/unfazed.
Hey girls, welcome back to Unfazed and Unbothered. I'm Camo. By now you should know that, but if you are just tuning in for the first time, welcome. If you are an old head here or a return listener, yes, it is another solo episode if you're watching the visual, duh. If you're listening to the audio, Tasia is not here. This is a solo episode again per. Love you so much, girl. Hold it down. Tasia's got a lot going on right now. She is in the process of moving and a lot of other stuff going on in her life. And yeah, so I was like, you know what, girl, I'm going to take the burden off of you and I'm going to do a solo episode. So here we are, girls. As usual, I'll just update you on this past week. Life has been pretty cute and gorgeous. I have been very low key from social media. I'm sure a lot of you have been wondering what the fuck's going on. I see the comments on TikTok, I see the DMs. Are you okay? What's going on? Where are you at? I've really just been living life low key, trying to be more present. And I've been having a great time. I feel like there's this light around me. And I know that might sound crazy. I promise you, I'm not high on methamphetamines, okay, bitch? But I do feel like genuinely there is some type of light around me attracting all this positivity, and it's very beautiful. I have really been enjoying life a lot lately. No complaints. I've not had any issues with people in general. And like, let me tell y'all. So, you know, I have gotten into a relationship, and I don't know, it just seems like there's something in the air, like something to the point like where we've both had to bring it up and mention it, but like people are being so nice to me lately, and I don't know. I'm very happy, and I love when people are nice to me, because then it puts me in a good mood. And not that I rely on other people's positivity, but you know what? It's like, if you're good to people, they feel good, and then they do good, and it's just like you give and you get, you know? And I feel like I've always tried to be a very uplifting, positive person. I know I've shown a lot of different facets and a lot of different sides of my personality, and people think I'm a little rough around the edges, sure, whatever, but deep down to my core, I'm always a super uplifting and positive, glass half full type of person. And so to see a lot of that kind of gravitate towards me now, I feel like I'm getting my karma, you know? Whatever, you know, anyways. So moving on. Yeah, overall, I've just been great. But I do want to kind of talk about something that a lot of people have asked me, or, you know, so I'm a very out there person. I'll say that. And you guys know that. I'm literally in a fucking caftan right now, a cheetah print rainbow caftan, okay, with some platform Doc Martens. I'm wearing a fucking choker. I'm very much out there, okay? And I'm aware of that. I'm a very self-aware individual. And a lot of people ask like where I get that confidence and how I just don't give a fuck about like what other people think. How did I become comfortable enough to own my identity? And you know, I've had a lot of friends and close people around me, people struggling with their sexuality, people just struggling to find who they are as a person, how to dress themselves. And they always ask me, Camo, how do you do it? Like, how do you be you? Like, you come off so confident, you come off like, I don't give a fuck, I'm that bitch, I know I'm that bitch. And you know, while yes, like I live that way, like I do battle my own insecurities, but at the end of the day, you have to think to yourself, do I prioritize my happiness and my comfortability, or do I prioritize the thoughts and opinions that others may have? Do I value their validation and their acceptance more than I do living in my truth, living in my authenticity? And I hate to think that there are people out there who take the safer route. And I know there's a lot of different variables, and every single human being is on their own journey, and everybody blooms and blossoms and grows and matures at different stages, at different paces, and you can really not compare two human beings. We're all different. But what I'm getting at is like, I hate to think that there are people out there, for whatever reason it may be, who hide who they are and don't fully share who they are, who don't fully go for what makes them happy. And you know, I wish that everybody out there could just accept who they are within, and who they really are, and not give a fuck. And I know that sounds very cliche, and I'm a little high, so I kind of was slowed to my points, but I'm just trying to find the best words and articulate my point well, so girls, bear with me. But like, I hate to feel that way. I've always lived in my truth from a young age. I've always been myself, or expressed myself freely. I mean, obviously not as free maybe as I do now, but I've generally always expressed myself and been comfortable with who I was. And to think that there are people out there who don't live that, it does bother me. It genuinely does. I can say that, my coming out experience, a lot of people ask about that. I've touched on that within this podcast a few times, I'm sure. But like, I knew I was gay since I was a child, a wee little child. I have memories of telling my mother I was going to marry a boy when I was literally 3 or 4. But anyways, I digress. I did not come out of the closet until I was 18. And the biggest fear for me was, well, I did express myself, like I was dressing the way I wanted to dress, and I was listening to the music and expressing myself the way I wasn't fully open about who I was, out of fear. And that's what it boils down to with literally everyone, is there's this fear. And from experience and listening to other people and getting to know other people's stories, a lot of times these fears are not even rational. They're just that. They're just a fear. And so I've not always came out of the house in dresses. Now, again, like I said, I've always expressed myself the way I wanted to. I didn't necessarily have like a desire to wear dresses, but like, when I did, like, we're always changing. I'm a different person today. I'll be a different person in a year from now. That's life. We evolve. But I do remember when I, first put on a dress, and I was like, damn, I feel good. And I thought, is people going to say something? I'm sure they are. And I kind of went back and forth for a few minutes. And then I was like, you know what? I don't give a fuck. Do they pay my bills? Do they dick me down? Do they bring satisfaction? Do they bring anything to the table that I call my life? No, they don't. So it doesn't matter. So I put that motherfucking dress on. I beat my motherfucking face, and I left the house, and I held my motherfucking head high, as you all should as well. But I don't know. Finding your identity and feeling comfortable is such a thing. And I see the comments, I get the messages all the time from you girls asking for advice, and I really don't know what to say. I guess really you just have to ask yourself, what is more important to me? Having everybody's approval, support, and them rooting me on, or do I value myself, my identity, who I am within? I'm a very transparent person. I've shared so much of my life, and I've never really felt that scared, except, like I said, coming out of the closet, I was kind of scared about that. But I just wish everyone felt as fearless and free as I do. And I don't know what it's going to take with, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, I see society growing, but like there's still so much work that has to be done so that everyone can feel comfortable. There's still so many bigots out there, and I just will never understand why somebody else would give a fuck or get hung up on what somebody else is doing or wearing, or the music they're listening to, or how little or how much makeup they want to wear, how much they want to alter their body, how comfortable they feel in their body naturally at whatever size. I just can't fathom ever giving a fuck. Of course, I'm a human being with opinions and thoughts. Duh, we all are. But I've never been pressed on what somebody else was doing, so long as they're not hurting or harming somebody else. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people who are not like that, and that makes it hard and makes it difficult for people to accept themselves. Like, even, and I'm not just talking about sexuality, like expressing ourselves. I've had so many friends say stuff like, oh, I wish I could wear something like that, but I don't think it would suit me. And I'm like, what do you mean? Why would it not suit you? I don't know. That's just like, I don't know. You can express yourself however you want. Men can wear makeup and be straight. Men can wear nails and be straight. Women can be a little tomboy butch. I don't know if that's inappropriate to say. Can be a little butch and be straight. Like, I'm kind of all over the place with this topic, but at the end of the day, like, I wish that people would stop chasing this idea of what their life should be and just live their truth. You know, growing up, I did not necessarily envision myself here at this size, looking like this, doing what I'm doing, but here I am. But that doesn't take away from the present moment. But just because, you know, as a child, and you know, this kind of does, going back to sexuality a little bit, a lot of people, they come to terms with their sexuality and their identity at a way later stage in life. And some people come to terms with it early on. It's a journey. It can't be rushed. Everybody is an individual. So I've seen not toddlers, little kids, little ass kids know that they are transgender. And I've also met 50 plus year old people who are finally coming out of the closet. I mean, even look at Caitlyn Jenner. She transitioned so late in her life. So maybe growing up, she did not have that idea in her head. Maybe she didn't envision that's where her life would end up, but it did. And it doesn't take away from the present moment. I'm just using her as an example. But anyways, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't get hung up on, oh, growing up, I envisioned myself having this life and looking like this and being with this type of person, and letting it complicate the present moment. Like, live the life you want to live, even if it's completely different. At any moment, you can switch up what you want to do, where you want to be, who you want to be fucking with, your friends. You can change anything about yourself at any given moment. It does not matter if that was your plan. It does not matter how much time and energy you've put into a project or a craft or something. You want to switch gears, baby, do it. There's never a right or wrong time. Or I guess, did I say that correctly? There's never a wrong time, okay? Period. Anyways, I'm going to go on a little break. I hope I didn't just run in circles there. I'm kind of high, but like, I wanted to get some points across and was just troubling my brain today. That topic, caring about what other people think. So girls, my advice to you would be, stop giving a fuck what other people think and start giving a fuck about what you think. Girls, if you want to be with that bitch, be with that bitch. If you don't. If you want to wear that little crop top and you're 250 and you don't think the other people are gonna approve of it or appreciate it, bitch, who cares? Do you feel cunt? Do you feel pussy? Put it on. Put it the fuck on. Wear that that 2-piece swimsuit this summer, bitch. Your body's not going anywhere unless, you know, you want to change it. Then that's a whole different story. But own who you are. Embrace the journey. Be optimistic about the future and stop worrying about what the fuck other people think. It doesn't matter. What you think should be prioritized. That should be your priority. How you feel and your happiness should come above what anybody else may think, want, or feel for you, what is right for you. Anyways, I'm going on a break. Today's episode is sponsored by First Leaf. When you're on the hunt for a new wine, you have two options. You can wander around your local grocery store or wine mart, picking bottles at random, or you can get personalized wines you'll love delivered right to your door, and for a fraction of the cost. If you love the excitement of discovering new wines but hate the risk of disappointment, First Leaf Wine Club is a no-brainer. First Leaf is a wine delivery service. I had no idea such thing existed, but I've been enjoying them for the past few weeks. What I love the most about First Leaf is they're kind of like a curated playlist, you know? Over time, they get better and better, more refined, based off of the feedback you give them. You answer some questions, and over time every delivery just gets better and better and better. They get a better understanding of your taste buds, the flavor profiles, the notes that you like, because these things are important. And they have so many wines to choose from 5 continents, 12 countries. Are you kidding me, girls? So there's a lot to choose from. I love a buttery Chardonnay. It's my favorite. It's my go-to. And the first delivery they sent me was already impeccable. The second one was even better. So I'm excited to see how good this third delivery is going to be. Needless to say, I fully encourage you girls to check them out. And, what's cute and gorgeous also is that they work directly with winemakers, so there's no middleman. You're getting the best deal, up to 60% off retail. Wow. Not to mention, First Leaf is so confident that you will like your wine. They have 100% satisfaction guarantee. If you don't like the bottle you got and it wasn't exactly what you was hoping for, First Leaf will credit back your account. So listen, girls, right now, Unfazed and Unbothered listeners, you are in luck. If you love finding and tasting new wine, First Leaf is a no-brainer. Join today and you will get 6 bottles of wine for $29.95 and free shipping. Just go to tryfirstleaf.com/unfazed. Again, that's 6 bottles of wine for $29.95 and free shipping at tryfirstleaf.com/unfazed. Girls, you can't beat that.
Alrighty, so Mother's Day is coming up, queens, and if you're sentimental like me, this will be the perfect gift for your mother, grandmother, anyone in your life who is a mother or a mother figure. So Storyworth is an online service that helps you and your loved ones connect through sharing stories and memories, and also preserves them for years to come. I'm such a sentimental person, y'all. This is so cute. Every week, Storyworth will email your mom a thought-provoking question of your choice from a vast pool of possible options. Each unique prompt asks questions you've never thought of. I've really enjoyed reading my mom's answers to the questions that I've asked. We've just learned more about each other, and we've, grown a closer bond, especially because I'm grown now and I live in my own house with my family, and she lives about an hour from me. And so I can't see her but every other few weeks when I have the time. And so this helps us bond, even though we, live in our own houses and stuff like that. But I've really enjoyed reading her answers and connecting with her on a different level. So after 1 year, Storyworth compiles all those questions and stories, including photos, into a beautiful keepsake book for the whole family, and you can share it for generations, which is so cute and gorgeous. So give all the moms in your life a meaningful gift you'll both cherish for years. Storyworth. Right now, for a limited time, you'll save $10 on your first purchase when you go to storyworth.com/unfazed. That's STORYWORTH.com/unfazed to save $10 on your first purchase. Storyworth.com/unfazed.
Hey, my pretty bitches, I'm back. So I should have mentioned in the first half that I'm down 35 pounds now. That's very cute and gorgeous. I have continued doing my best as I can. I will admit that I have not been as nitty gritty with my calorie counting. Maybe that's a good thing. I know a lot of people were concerned for a period of time. But for a while I will say I kind of was obsessing. I'm not so much obsessing anymore. I've not been counting calories really. I kind of have an understanding of what I'm eating and how much I should eat, and I'm just listening to my body more. But I was losing a pound a day, and now I kind of I don't want to say I've plateaued, but I've been losing weight. I'm still losing weight. I'm not gaining, losing, but at a slower pace. Nothing wrong with that. I'm eating more, so there's that. But yeah, I'm down 35 pounds, and every day is a new day. I have my good and bad days. Even my bad days, though, are not that bad. They're not the way they used to be. I would go on binging sprees and consume 2,000 or 3,000 calories after having a manic moment, going down to my kitchen at 1 a.m. and just hoarding or ransacking the fucking pantry and fridge. And I've not done that in months now. But some days I do be having little cheats here and there. I have kind of been drinking a little more coffee than I was. I was drinking coffee every single day since childhood up until a few months ago, two months ago. And then it started to turn into once a week. like once a week. And it was just so drastic because I was going from 3 coffees a day to 3, 4 in a month. So anyways, I've had a few more coffees, but whatever. Shouldn't even mention that. It's just so stupid. It's so silly. But yeah, I'm doing great. The biggest testament though, because I stopped weighing myself, right? I haven't weighed, well, I weighed myself today, but I stopped weighing myself for a period of time because I started like having a few little cheat days here and there. And by cheat days, I mean I was eating closer to like 2,000 to 2,500 calories a day rather than 15. Still eating remotely relatively good. I did have like a few sweets since like I went like 2 months almost not eating, a month and a half, whatever, not eating any sweet whatsoever. And then I did have like, what did I have? I had like a piece of cheesecake a few days ago, but like whatever, crucify me. Yeah. So there's that. Oh, I'm so scatterbrained. Fuck. Goddamn. My belt. This is like the biggest testament. So I stopped weighing myself as much. I did today just so I could give like an update. But the biggest testament for me, so I have this belt that I got a while, sometime in January, I think. January. Yeah, sometime in January. Whenever it like snowed in Georgia for one day, if you follow me on TikTok, I had posted this video in the snow of me twerking in this muumuu with this belt on. I had just gotten that belt, right? And when I first got it, it was like very tight, but I was too ashamed to get the size bigger. So I got the size that barely fit me. And I was like literally the last hole was so tight, like the very last, or is it the first or the last? I don't know, whichever one is at the end of the belt. It was very tight, like so fucking tight that the belt like felt like it was gonna explode, right? And there's these indentions on the belt. And now I'm all the way at the last hole or the first hole, however you want to look at it. Perspectives, okay? We all have different perspectives. Whichever one is the one, you know, on the inside of the belt. I'm literally could poke like 2 holes to make it even bigger, the belt. So that was like the biggest testament, like the inches. I didn't realize that until I put that belt on a few days ago, because I was like, whoa, this belt, I could make a new hole on here. Like what? And it felt really good. I had lost this belt actually, and I left it at a friend's house, and they gave it back to me a few days ago. So I hadn't been wearing it. So I like, this was like a good gauge because I kind of was getting a little discouraged. I was like, I'm not losing weight as fast as I was. I'm kind of fucking up, or at least I was feeling like it. And boom, but now here I am. Inches are coming off. Pounds are still coming off, and I'm feeling great. I still got a long way to go to get where I want to be physically, but I'm excited and I'm happy that the ball is rolling in the right direction. I will say that. But anyways, this episode, I know a lot of you girls have been asking for longer episodes, and I do aim to try to, you know, give you girls a 45-minute to an hour episode. But sometimes it's hard to maintain focus and stay on topic. Like I read the feedback a lot, and like some feedback has been, oh yeah, they go in circles, they talk about the same things, and then other ones are saying that they're not long enough. And so like I try to make them long enough without us, or when it's even the solo episodes, without me like just going in circles and just, you know, killing a dead horse, if you will. So if this episode is not an hour, please don't crucify me. I love you girls so fucking much. I cannot emphasize that enough. And I do appreciate everyone who has continued streaming. There are going to be a lot of changes in the future with this show. So don't tune out, girls. Don't tune out, because we're not even getting started yet. Okay. There's a future beyond. I'll say that. But I am going to answer some questions and read some stories. So I wanted to try something a little new. I got some stories that you girls sent in to me, some embarrassing stories. Kind of ties into my topic of today's episode, you know, not giving a fuck. Obviously, if you embarrass yourself, you're going to give a fuck, especially in that moment. But like, one of my biggest sayings I've said for years is you cannot shame the shameless. If you live your life shamelessly, ain't nobody got a motherfucking damn thing on you. So embrace these embarrassing, cringy moments that happen in your life. And don't let anybody hold that against you, okay? Don't care. Don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. Don't let anybody shame you, period. So that's how it kind of ties in. But anyways, I'm going to answer some questions and share some embarrassing stories that you girls sent in to me this week. Very cute and gorgeous. Let's see. So, Miss Ashley, I'm not going to share her whole username because this is an embarrassing story. I usually share y'all's usernames when y'all ask questions, but I don't want to put anybody's business too much out there. But her name is Ashley. So an Ashley out there said she went on a blind date, right? And wore all white. We were cuddling. I got my period unexpectedly. The end. Don't know if that worked out. She didn't specify. And now I'm kind of like on the edge of my seat. I want to know, Miss Ashley, did y'all work out, or was that the end? I mean, I know you said end, but was that the end of that situation, the end of the story, period? Y'all's story. Anyways. So Miss Erica Ashley Styles, another Ashley, hey, way us up for the Ashleys, said lyrics that apply to your current situation / mood. And I would say, good question, girls. Let me look in my like page right now so I can give you a legitimate answer. So, Start It Up by Alex Malley. That's literally me right now. I love it. It's a cute and gorgeous song. It fits my vibe right now. I've been obsessed with it. I know it's kind of a few years old, but a homegirl put me on to Miss Alex Malley recently, and that song in particular, Started Up. I've been obsessed. Fucking obsessed. So yeah, that's that. Let's see. What's another goodie? So this is another story by Miss Scooby Snack. I'm not going to finish the name. She's a stripper. Hey girl, strip it up or strip it down. Whatever. Fell off stage stripping on Friday night, and customers took their tips back. Okay, period. Had to be humiliating. I'm so sorry. Hope you're okay. Hope you didn't hurt yourself too bad, other than your pride. But girl, we live and we learn. We go through things. It was a moment of weakness, but we're good. We're good to go. You're gonna be great. You're gonna make them tips back. Okay, someone's gonna come up in there and they're gonna be a big baller and they're gonna throw some motherfucking money on you. I'm manifesting it for you, bitch. Okay, I'm rooting for you, Miss Scooby Snacks. Okay, so Miss Rayleigh Blaine asked, I've done this a few times, but have you ever screenshotted drama or gossip and accidentally sent it to the person you screenshotted? Yes, absolutely. We've all been there, I think. Yeah, and you got to play it off all cutesy pootsy. I think one time I was talking to this guy and I screenshotted a picture he sent me and was going to send it to one of my homegirls. And then I sent it back to him and he was like, huh? And I was like, look at my cute man. Anyways, he probably knew I was full of shit. But that didn't work out. It wasn't supposed to work out. Anyways, it's hot as fuck in my house, girls. Like, I don't know what's going on. It feels like a goddamn sauna. Okay, Miss Gina said, one time I asked my friend why he was talking so damn loud. He told me he's half deaf. Well, I would have probably asked the same thing. I can't stand a loud ass bitch. But I hope your friend is okay. Because that would have been awkward. If he was actually half deaf. So there's that. Anyways, this person asked a few questions. Consistently a bitch. True or false? Everyone can be a Karen sometimes. I guess we all have the capacity to be a Karen, but I feel like I try my hardest not to be a Karen. Now, I know there's been some videos out there of me where people have been like, who's actually the Karen here in my Karen videos? I do match energy. I'm a very petty per principle type of bitch. So I can embody a Karen if you're being a Karen, but I try my hardest not to be a Karen. I never speak to managers, and I try not to complain. I will eat the food when it's wrong unless I just can't bear it. And then even then I'm like, oh shit, should I even say anything? I guess we all can have the capacity to be a Karen, but I don't think we're all Karens. I think there's a certain breed of bitch that is like a true Karen at their core, at their, you gotta have the hair, you gotta have the attitude, you gotta have the entitlement, you gotta be a little racist, you gotta be a little homophobic, and you just gotta think the world revolves around you. And none of those apply to me. So same person, consistently a bitch. Favorite memory with your mom. So one of the most memory that I cherish, it's like not just a one-time memory, but when my mother and I and like my family would go on vacations to the beach, me and her would wake up at like 5:30 in the morning. We would make our coffee and we alone would go walk the beach in search of, sand dollars, starfish, and seashells while there was nobody on the beach. And we would just watch the sunrise together, and just enjoy each other. And I miss that so much. Yeah. I think about that all the time. When I think of like the happiest moments, I see my mom and me walking down a beach early in the morning with our cup of coffee, the wind blowing our hairs around, and it brings me peace. It makes me feel good thinking about that. So there's that. Okay, so Daves of our lives. Let's see what you did there. Days of our life. Daves of our lives. It ain't days, it's Daves. Okay, purr. Oh shit, I just said your name. Oh, so sorry. I'm sharing your embarrassing story anyways. After a surgery, still drugged, I was screaming, "You're a dildo cocksucker" to my surgeon. Okay, embarrassing. Very awkward, I will say. I will say one time under anesthesia when I was coming back from a surgery, I was crying and yelling about Starbucks and how I needed Starbucks. This is a true story. And I posted about it on Facebook like 2013 and people started sending me Starbucks gift cards. So that kind of worked out in my favor. But I did wake up and I was screaming and crying about how I needed Starbucks now. And I don't have any recollection, but everyone else does. Anyways, Riley, by the way, asked, what's some of your favorite spots to go in Atlanta? I love Beltline. I love Piedmont Park. I love the Goodwill on Northeast Plaza. I love going to Fellini's Pizza. That's like one of my childhood hotspots. Still go to this day. Jenny's Ice Cream. Holy fuck. Chef's Kiss. I love Little Five, Criminal Records. I love a little record. Junkman's Daughter, which is also in Little Five. Yeah, there's a lot of things to do in Atlanta, but I love being in nature, so the park is always going to be my favorite. But let's see. So Allybug44 asks, how do you manage a safe diet while struggling with an eating disorder? Well, girl, I wish I had the correct answer for you because I am living that. So trigger warning. Today I've had a great past few weeks, but today I did kind of have, an uncomfortable day at one point. Not gonna talk about it, whatever. And it did kind of put me in a place mentally where I lost my appetite. And so needless to say, I've only had a coffee, today I've only had a coffee, and I did eat a turkey roll up with cheese, and I felt like I couldn't even finish that. So I'm just being transparent. I'm being honest. I'm not promoting or wishing anyone to follow in my footsteps, but I am honest about where I'm at, who I am, what's going on in my life. And so it is hard to manage a safe diet while struggling with an eating disorder, because anything can trigger my thought, of, oh, well, you need to lose this, or you need to do that, or you've eaten too much the past few days. You need to get back in the groove of things. But on most days, I will say that I have been very mindful of what I'm eating, and I have been making a conscious effort to eat 1,500 calories minimum. But it was very easy for like a month and a half, and I did kind of have like a week of weakness, where I wasn't as sharp and like on top of my shit. So just listen to your body. I know that's probably like, Camo, are you kidding me? You just told us you basically starved today. But tomorrow's gonna be a new day. I'm gonna be okay. I am okay. Just a little hiccup. Eat your food. You have to. Okay. Now I think this is, I'm gonna say a few more things. Okay. Sammy Christine says, found out I was allergic to wine when I went to a winery. I didn't make it to the bathroom. Shit emoji. I would have been mortified, and I would have ran out crying, and I would have left. And then I would have made a joke about it and posted about it on social media so that no one could shame me. Okay. But in that moment, I would have ran with my head not held high. Okay. I hate that for you. Riley Bronson asked, do you plan on starting a YouTube so we can see more of your day-to-day life? Love you so much. Well, Miss Riley, I love you so much too. I love the idea of getting serious with YouTube, and I know that's where the real money is. TikTok is tomato, tomato, tomato. But for me, I feel like, TikTok, I can just get on, record, and post per. Whereas on YouTube, you have to give the girls something. Like, you can't just come on there and give them the same video every week. You can't just sit there and ramble. You can't just sit there and think, oh, I have followers, so everyone cares about every move I make. Like, you have to still be interesting, and you have to give the girl something. Otherwise, you're just going to get this surplus of TikTok followers to view your YouTube videos, and they're never going to grow. And like, first impressions are everything. So I've kind of held off on like really diving into a career on YouTube, if that's what I would even call it, because I don't want to give the girls anything lackluster or anything of TikTok quality. So if there's somebody who is into film work and wants to, work out some type of deal where you film me and we work together, whatever the case may be, hit a bitch up. But until I have me a little camera crew and people down to edit, I don't know how much YouTube I'll be putting out there. I'm starting to... Anyways, random thought. So yeah, if you're going to do YouTube, do it right. Don't be a boring bitch. M_... Souls. Okay, period. Who are some of your musical influences? So Janet Jackson is up there on the list. The Jacksons, period. Well, Michael and Janet. Like, the Jacksons are the Jacksons, but let's be real. Janet and Michael were the true icons. Janet is still an icon. Michael will forever be an icon. Rest in peace. But yes, both of them for certain. Drake, Summer Walker, SZA, Jhené Aiko, Frank Ocean, The Weeknd, Sam Smith, even though I don't really listen to them as much lately anymore. It's been years, but still. Lorde, Lana Del Rey. Yeah, these people have really been musical influences for me. Banks. Don't know if y'all know her. Love her. Yeah, those are some of my biggest musical influences, I would say. Which there was another question that I cannot find now, and I'm very upset about it. Hold on, let me see. Oh, here we go. So going back, Miss Consistently a Bitch also asked, album you grew up on. So this is a funny story. Maybe it's not funny. Maybe it explains why I'm the way I am. So growing up, I was a little spoiled and I got what I wanted because I was a good little person. Pronounless person. Living life. And I was good. I tried to be good because I am good. I didn't have to try hard, but I'm not perfect. Anyways, but I would be a good little person and I would get rewarded. And my reward was CDs. I have always loved music since I was a little kid. And it's always been, it's always really controlled and taken over my life, music. And I can't imagine a life without music. I hear people be like, oh, I don't listen to music. And I'm like, what the fuck? How do you breathe? Music is literally like oxygen to me. But yeah, so point being made, I would get rewarded with CDs quite regularly, 2 or 3 CDs a week. So I, in my childhood, did accumulate hundreds, if not 1,000 plus CDs. And I still have a big collection of some of my first CDs, but I've lost a lot, broken a lot. Whatever, you know, we lose things. Can't keep everything. But one of the first albums, the absolute most nostalgic album, and an album that I'm still just as obsessed with, especially in recent times, is Janet Jackson's All For You. 2001, I was, I think, 6 years old, and my Mimi had no business buying me that CD. But I did listen to. I found it at, I think it was at Toys R Us, if I remember correctly. I don't think back then there was like all this emphasis on parental advisories and whatnot, or I think there was a parental advisory on it, but like it was still able to be sold at Toys R Us. Needless to say, she did buy me All For You by Janet Jackson, and I was very much the little kid who had their little CD player, headphones in at all times. I was not fucking with nobody. I was listening to music sun up to sundown, and I'm very much the type of person that when I first listen to an album, I listen through it A through Z, and needless to say, I became obsessed with that album in particular. I love Janet. She's an icon. I love a lot of her a lot of her music from various projects, but All For You, to me, maybe it's my bias, like, opinion, but it's like, to me, one of her best albums. And it's very sexual. So I'm like, I shouldn't have been listening to this by any means. But one of the songs that is most nostalgic is called Would You Mind? Check it out, girls. It's very sexual. Should not have been listening to it. Like, for the... Oh, period, Janet. We love a little promo. Janet Jackson, I Live, Laugh, Love You. I'm trying to pull up the album, though, for you girls, so I can give the correct titles. I know most of them, but like, so this was the album cover. If you're looking at the visual, she's naked, and she's naked on the backside of the album too, wrapped up in a little blanket, looking very sexual, very sexy. Purr. But tracks 6, 7, 8 are literally the nastiest tracks, and they were my favorite tracks. When We Ooh, China Love, Love Scene, and Would You Mind? So 6, 7, 8, and 9. Those songs are so nasty, so freaky, and I listen to them still to this day religiously. Right now, Love Scene, Ooh Baby has been like on repeat again and again and again and again and again and again and again. And I recently found the album at a CD shop, and I bought it again just for nostalgia's sake. But that was a long ass fucking answer. That album was what I grew up on, and maybe it explains to me why I feel so freaky and dirty and nasty. But yeah, so I'm gonna take a break from the show. Not a break. Shut the fuck up, you dumb bitch. Don't look at your phone. I'm going to go. I love you, girls. I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful, gorgeous, sexy, hot day. And yeah, live, laugh, love.